Good morning, my name is Jason Hood, President of DMC Technology Group. We're Toledo's premier IT service provider. With me is John Crisp. John, why don't you introduce yourself and FalconForgeAI?
Yeah, so my name is John Crisp with FalconForgeAI. We're a Toledo-based company and we help organizations understand their risk and vulnerabilities and how to build a cybersecurity program when it comes to Ohio House Bill 96, Section 9.64.
Is there any sort of I don't have to be compliant reason, or is it everybody who receives certain types of state money is required?
So if they're considered an Ohio political subdivision, and there's some very specific requirements of that, but they'll know if they are one, they have to do several things and they don't have a choice. We've heard organizations say, we're too small, this is just something that's going to go away, we don't need to worry about it. This requires training, this requires policies and procedures, and most importantly, what changed when this law was passed is you used to be able to say you were doing something, now you have to prove it.
What are some of the common misconceptions you've seen as you've talked to the townships, you've talked to the people that need to be compliant?
The most common misconception that we hear is, we adopted a policy in September of last year, we've watched a training video and we're good. That is not the expectation. You have to build a cybersecurity program, and that program has to be governed. And what that means in cybersecurity terms is data controls, you have to have accountable people, it's a program you have to run and manage. So it's way more than just a policy.
What are three things you think organizations should focus on first? You know, you've got a whole laundry list of items to be compliant.
Assess where you are, assess where you're trying to go, and what is that gap that you have to fill. So that becomes the next step. You have to govern this, you have to actually assign people on your team, and you have to make a record of this. Who's going to be collecting the evidence? Who's going to be managing the data that the auditor wants to see? And then over time, you have to train your organization. That's the third thing. So first, where are you standing? Next, start collecting and building all of that. And the third thing is train your organization, because this is the governance piece. You have to prove this. You have things you have to do every year. There's things you have to do more frequently than that, and there are things that the state recommends you do quarterly.
You think that there's probably something you expect to see more often than not in some of these programs?
There's a list of things you should have, right? And there's a list of things you must have. Disaster recovery plans, critical communication plans. You've got to have the things in your playbook, we call it. It's a printed copy of your evidence chain, because if your systems are down and you can't get to your digital files and your email in an inbox, you're not going to pass the audit.
Is there an overlooked requirement? Is there something people aren't thinking about that's part of the bill that maybe they just don't think about and should at least have some opportunity to improve in their environment?
Yeah, make sure you have the policies and the procedures and the proof of execution. Most organizations don't have an inventory list. Adopt more than a policy, build an actual program, right? So reach out to the subject matter experts to help with that. Make sure you have the documentation. Make sure you have the proof.
So what's going to separate organizations that become compliant, that really focus on making sure House Bill 96 is a key part of their program, and those that just kind of, I'll say, shove it off, right?
You've established your vulnerabilities, you've acknowledged them, and you build a remediation plan. So how are you going to fix it? You've created a culture inside your organization, and a lot of our training focuses on the human firewall, right? Everybody in your organization has a role to play in this, and you need to have a culture where people can talk about it. That's not going to get them fired, right? And then being able to track and prove those proofs. We talk about it as shelfware, right? So now you have all these policies and procedures, and you have all these great things going on with your managed service provider that's doing the right things at the right frequency, but can you prove it, right? So make sure you have those proofs. That's who wins.
What types of services are you providing to your customers, and what can they expect from a relationship with you guys?
We stay in a very specific lane. We look at all the evidence, all the data, and then we help you understand how to build a program and manage to it.
People can come through DMC to get a hold of you, but how do they get in touch with you outside of DMC?
Yeah, so go to our website, there's a contact us form.
Great.
And we have a team of people that are willing to help 24/7.
John, thanks for spending the morning with me.
Absolutely, appreciate the opportunity.